Honestly, this is very laughable, but it is very amazing to say that Nigerians, especially the Nigerian youths and Ghanaian youths, they have finally come to an agreement on this particular point. You know, it is high time the youths from these both countries stopped coming to abroad, Western countries, for their academic pursuits, rather stay back home and develop our home countries. I think this would be really great. So guys, once again, my name is Chinyere Ojike. You are most welcome to my channel. I sincerely appreciate all your support. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and keep coming back for more uploads. Yes. So let's get started. So this is a beautiful post I found online, posted by a Ghanaian young man, baby boy. Yeah, the post reads, "This country's biggest crime," it's talking about Ghana, "is that it steals your youth from you. You don't even realize how old you are as a 26/27-year-old until you travel and realize that your age mates in proper countries, that's in Western world, started families 3 or 4 years ago, but you are in their country at that age to start school." Do you understand it? That is a crystal truth, because our parents, they don't even let us grow. In Africa, especially in my home country, I'm a Nigerian if you don't know, even at 20, a boy of 20, a young girl of 20 is probably living under the parents' roof. They don't let you go live alone. They don't let you go start life. They don't see you as an adult. They still regard you as a boy or a girl at age 20. Even as at age 25, they still do not see you as an adult. You know, for the girls, as time goes on, in fact, starting a relationship is a problem. As at age 20, 25, you're still hiding your male friend, your boyfriend from your parents, from your older siblings. You don't want them to know that you are into a relationship with anybody, because if they get to know, to be honest with you, I got the dirty slap from my big brother at age 21. I was not even relating with the guy. The guy is a family friend. He just came to visit. I was just standing out in our compound chatting with this guy. My brother came and slapped me. Very dirty, hot slap. Then why should I be standing and be chatting with a man? Age 21. Remember, age 18 in abroad in the Western world. You know what's up. You know, they've celebrated, have their own house, and start living alone. Though not every one of them. You know, so our parents, they don't let us grow. They don't let us have our own ways. Sadly, at age 30, they will be praying for you during night prayers, morning prayers. I pray for my daughters to find a good husbands. I pray for my grandchildren to come. They would expect you to bring home a man when you are not even in a relationship. I don't know how miraculously they want that to happen. It's quite a pity, but this is the reality of, I don't know, though this modern time, it is no longer the same, because I've seen a lot of young people at age 21, from 25. Diana Ekweme will be turning around. I don't think she's up to 30, but she's married. That means her parents, they have this kind of understanding. You know, they flow with the societal vibes, something like that. In my own days, it was difficult. I've told you at what age I received a dirty slap. Now, coming to the comments that followed this post, you know, is something I want to share with you. This young man says, 26 years old in the UK, already has 3 kids and paying mortgage for his or her second house. But at the same age, 26-year-old in prison, 26-year-old is homeless. Somewhere and somehow, 26-year-old are somewhere under 6 feet. Be grateful in whatever position you find yourself. This person made a lot of senses, you know. 26-year-old in the UK, some of them, they have achieved a lot. And 26-year-old in the UK or America, Canada, some of them are on the streets, homeless. Some are in prison, some have died. This is a great point. Let's go on to the next comment. Finally, Nigerians and Ghanaians agree on one thing. that generation ruined things for everyone. That's true. Yes, we need to be more intentional as youths. As we say, government, they fuck up, sorry, now to start early to try hands in various things, legal, he didn't say illegal. As a youth, nothing stops you from having a handiwork, while schooling, this is paramount. Note that when you leave school, you discover that you are already set up to take on life. You hit the ground running. Though the educational system in my country, Nigeria, does not really give most students that opportunity to like do something else while studying. About 20% out of 100% were the ones who were able to start businesses, side hustles, selling stuff in school. The rest of the 80%, they focus on their studies day in, day out. And remember, schools in my country, I don't know about in Ghana, can you tell me, is from Monday till Friday. The difference with Western education is that you don't go to school Monday to Friday. You can have your lectures within 3 days or 2 days in a week. You can merge your modules to do them 2 to 3 days in a week. The other 2, 3 days you go to work. And the government have practically set aside the minimum hours of shift a student who is under 20 can do, a student who is 25 and above or under can do, and minimum wages for each of this category according to your age. But this is not obtainable in most of the African countries. Now, this other person, honestly, you hit the hammer right on the nail. It's a pity though, we start our lives pretty late in Nigeria too. So this person is a Nigerian. Imagine graduating from high school only to sit at home and be writing JAM for 4 to 5 times. Enter school at age 21 or so. A 4-year course turns to a 6-year course. My husband studied for 8 years. I think 10 years. And that course was supposed to be 8 years. Studied it for 10 years, he said. Strikes upon strikes. This is exactly what the person is pointing out. 4-year course turns to 6 years course due to uncontrollable circumstances, and then graduating at age 26 and then do NYSC. Your youth is practically gone as at this time. When do you want to start being independent and start your own family? It is well. Next person said, no, our system ruined us. A 23-year-old boy came to give a speech at a gathering. I read his profile and I wept. I wept so hard for my life. At 23, he already had a master's degree in a medical field, a house of his own, and a car, planning to get married. 23-year-old. I look back at my life and I wept again. 23, I was in Nigeria as a graduate looking for a job. Couldn't get a job. Have to go do masters. After masters, still no job. I searched and applied, still nothing until I traveled, only for me to realize that the certificates I've acquired over time is nothing. If I want a decent job in the new country, I have to go back to their school. I'm already 33. Some of these certificates we acquire in Africa, when we come to the Western country, they don't value it. You remember the first time I told you I was looking for a job? I had my degree as a mass communication student then, and I rang, my roommate was like, Chi, you just have to start from somewhere. This is the advice they would always give you if you come to Obodo Yibo, depending on whom you are squatting with. So I rang a cleaning company. They asked me if I have 12 years experience as a cleaner. And I banged the phone on them. They graduate from a university when I have done my youth service, coming to Obodo Yibo, so this is crazy. One of my regrets in life at 33, I thought I was just starting until I traveled. Fast forward years later, I wish I had impregnated someone by mistake before I japa. I feel like an old man now at 33. Remember, when I was studying in the UK, there was a man there. I think he was 35. He committed suicide. You know why? He was so fed up with life. Because he said his age mates, they have 10 days. He couldn't find a girlfriend. He did masters in my school then, University of Bolton. The guy, a Nigerian from Enugu precisely that time. I remember that young man, very handsome and cool. He committed suicide. They buried him in the UK. It's quite a pity though, but there is still life after 35. This person, honestly, this post made me shed tears. Did you know, as we speak, the professor that's lecturing me here in America is 35 years old with two beautiful children, while his wife of 34 years old is an English professor. Sometimes I felt bad knowing I'm the oldest in the lecture room of 20 students. May God have mercy on Nigeria. And the youth should do better and ask the older generation questions rather than wasting their lives on social media. You know, this is quite sad, to be honest. So, next person, all I see is greed in the whole Africa because our leaders are really blessed. Our leaders are blessed. They are not suffering, to be honest. You know, my dad was telling me he started his family at age 23, and he already had our firstborn at age 24. That, am I not supposed to be married? I told him things were much better in your time. He got a government work at age 21. Immediately he finished his education with an official card. I don't even have a job since I have finished school. So how do you expect me to do it? God will help us from these oppressors. Things were much better. I remember my mom actually got married before she turned 20, and my dad got married before she turned 20 in those years. But me, I received slap at age 21 from my brother. That was all I got. Dirty slap. I can never forget that dirty slap at age 21. My mom got married before she turned 20. She already had about two of us before she turned 20. My elder sister, the same thing. In fact, the son is 35 now. My sister just turned, is it 50 or thereabouts? Can you imagine? This person says, exactly, we don't leave our youth at all. And it's sad because before you know it, you are already carrying a family alone and you never really get to do or have fun as a youth. I think this is very pathetic. This is something most of us, the youths, could look into, especially when we start having our children, or those of us already having children. We should learn to encourage them, support them as much as we can. Anyway, this is so pathetic. But then, most of us that passed through these stages, certain generation that didn't let us grow because it's not in every family. Yes, we know, we have seen some all these politicians, government children, civil servants children. They actually did things on time. They started on time. I think it was a certain generation. Yes, but currently I think that thing is coming back, especially having to see Africans at age 30, 35 coming to the Western countries for their academic pursuits. Yes, it is common. This is why you see somebody coming from Africa to abroad for studies. The person already has a first degree, second degree. Some are coming for master's, second master's. Some are coming for third. The person don't marry for Nigeria or for Ghana or for Kenya. Though this is common. And when they get to school, they begin to see in a class, they begin to feel awkward because you are studying with younger people. The Westerners, they don't miss any level of education. In fact, as a matter of fact, they beg them, they encourage them, they patronize them to go to school. As they are studying, they give them stipends. That is allowances, either weekly or monthly. I am not sure. My friend then at Bisco, she was collecting some allowances, study allowances or something. Students' loan, that's the proper name. And the house where she was living then was gifted to her by the government. They will give you a house because she was above 18, being in the university. She did her college and then the university. So she didn't have anything to bother her. When she finished her program, she didn't want to start working. The government was paying her job seekers allowance. In fact, you might choose not to work and start collecting job seekers allowance. It is acceptable in Obodo Yibo. But try it in my country. You are on your own, So it is pathetic when you are traveling abroad at age 30 and above. You are starting afresh. You are practically there for studies. Whereas your age mates, you cannot see any white person in that age, even 25, still in school with you. It's hard. Unless you are doing masters, this is where you could meet some of them who come back to study at that age or within your age bracket. It is even rare to see some of them at that age coming back to do masters. We, the African youths, we can do better, especially by encouraging our children, our younger sibs, to do something ahead of time. Let them have independence as much as they can, and let them understand life. Let them feel that they are adults already after 18, not at 20, 25. You are still looking at somebody as a boy or a girl because you are the older brother, you are the older sister. Therefore, that person, you wouldn't let the person grow. You wouldn't let that person have independence. The person will keep depending on you, asking you for this and that. Give them freedom. We can do better by changing this narrative so that you wouldn't have people coming to the Western country to commit suicide. Anyway, I like the concept that the person that dropped a comment that Ghanaians, this is the only thing Ghanaians and Nigerians have come to agreement to. It was very fascinating reading that. It wasn't a battle of jollof rice and music again. Anyway, shout out to all of you. I love you all. Thank you for your time. I sincerely appreciate you stopping by to watch my content. Bye for now.